Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back for another week of Launch Codes Football. I'm Daniel,
And I'm Chelsea.
and I hope everyone had a fun Thanksgiving and a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone got I guess not the freshman 15, the Thanksgiving 15.
There
And
was
did
actually a lot of good football this Thanksgiving. I feel like that's not that common.
It really isn't, mostly because usually the Lions are traditionally bad, the Cowboys are usually up and down, and by the last game, everyone just has the itis, so no one's awake. But no, we had three amazing games. We
Even the
had
Black Friday was good.
an interesting game on Black Friday. Admittedly, I didn't really watch that game. I was out shopping all about with my sister and brother-in-law on Black Friday. But yeah, it's December now. We're in the final stretch. The football season is coming to the end. The playoff picture is coming a little more clear. So
Is
instead of,
it?
you know what, that's fair. The playoff picture is actually more muddy than usual.
Yeah, seriously. Just as an aside, because the Bears won on Friday, I gotta hit the audience with the Bears.
We will get to that
Not
because
even a Bears fan, guys. It's just so fun. I'm sorry.
it's not even a Bears fan. Just you're so happy when the Bears are doing well,
I
just so you can do
know, it
that.
just flows naturally. I'm sorry.
But as Chelsea kind of alluded to, instead of just talking about a couple of things that took our interest this past week, because we're in December, because this is the final stretch, and because each team has about 5 games left, 4 or 5 games left, we decided to do a little thing of is this team a fraud? Or because we're launch coach football, is this team is fuel, rocket fuel? Are they going to fuel themselves to a deep playoff run? So, fuel or fraud is the name of the game this week. And we start with the good old National Football Conference and the 10 top teams as of this moment in their playoff position. And let's start with the NFC East, where we have the rising Cowboys and the dwindling Eagles. Man, Chelsea, I don't. This is once again, this is the Eagles are just the San Francisco Giants at this point. They're just gonna be good every other year. And yeah, to lose to Dallas after having a 21 point lead, and then to host the Bears on Thursday night on Friday afternoon, honestly, and to fall to Chicago in a matchup for a lot of playoff implications. I didn't think Dallas would have any shot at. I didn't think any team would have any shot at taking down the Bears in the division. But if you look at the Bears, the last week of the last 5 games, they have to go to the Chargers, which is gonna be interesting because Herbert has dealing with a broken hand, but he's playing. Then they host the Raiders, so that should be an easy win. Then they have to go to the Commanders, go to Buffalo, and end the season with the Commanders. On the other hand, the Cowboys, they have to they have Thursday night against at Detroit, which is probably the toughest game. Then they host the Vikings, host the Chargers, travel to the Commanders, and then travel to the Giants. Are the Eagles like at this point? I don't want to say give. Okay, first of all, let's just get this out of the way. The Eagles are frauds. I'm not going to speak for Chelsea, but I'm going to assume Chelsea has eyes and will also say the Eagles are somewhat fraudulent. Um, And the Cowboys, I don't. Maybe because they got in such a big hole, there's a chance that the Eagles can hold on to your lead. But right now, the Cowboys are playing like the best team in the NFC East, and it's not even close. Their defense, ever since they got Quinn Williams from the Jets, Clark in the Green Bay trade has been paying dividends. It's been starting to pay dividends. They had a rocky start on Thursday night, but that's in part because Dak threw a pick. Um, and then they just kind of just controlled the ball and controlled Mahomes for most of the rest of the game. I'm not saying this Cowboys defense is an elite defense. They're not Seattle, but this defense is good enough and productive enough to get off the field and let their high-powered offense just dominate games. I can't believe I'm looking at a Dallas Cowboys team that is only, was it? They're only technically a game and a half back from the Eagles. If you would have paid me, if you were taking this bet like a month ago, no one would have thought this. No one would even consider. Dallas lost back-to-back games to like wait, they lost to the Cardinals and they lost to, okay, Denver's actually a good team. They got blown out by Denver and then they lost to the Cardinals. The Cardinals not even in the playoffs at this point. Yeah, I guess the Cowboys are fuel. Charles, what's your thoughts?
So I will lead off with saying this. I think that there is a difference between being fuel or being fraudulent now compared to what I believe teams can be in the playoffs. But if we're just basing it right now, the Eagles look fraudulent. Honestly, I mean, I know their record is good and they'll probably still make the playoffs. And if there's any team that you don't want to play in the playoffs, it's probably that team because they could turn it on. So whoever plays them is probably going to be scared, even if they've been looking bad. I mean, I would say right now they look more fraudulent than not, just because their O line has just not been the same this year. I mean, Saquon had a huge year last year, and this year has just not been the same. I mean, he doesn't even look like the same guy, which is pretty shocking to see considering there's an argument he should have won MVP last year. So that's definitely, you know, a storyline. And then, all the stuff with AJ Brown, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I agree kind of with him. Like, you should use him more. He's arguably your best piece on offense outside of Saquon. So, I mean, I would use him more. So I kind of understand where he's coming from. But, at the same time, it's a team sport. I mean, as long as you win, that's what most
Yeah.
people care about. But, I mean, based on how they're playing right now, I mean, losing to the Bears, that was tough, dude. I mean, everyone thought that the Bears were fraudulent. And then they beat the Eagles. And was it in Chicago, the game, or was it in Philly?
It was in Chicago.
Okay, so they had some home field advantage, so that definitely played a role, but I mean, it
Well,
didn't win them the game. I
well,
mean, they went
actually,
out and they won that game. So, as for the
actually, I
Cowboys,
was wrong. It was in Philly. It was,
it
yeah,
was
the
in
game.
Philly. Yeah, then that's even more impressive of a victory then. As for the Cowboys, the defense has taken a step forward, which, if you're a Cowboys fan, is really reassuring to see. I mean, the offense is one of the best in football with the tandem of CD when he catches the ball and George Pickens having the resurgent season that he has. I'm going to say that Dallas is fuel, that they're real right now. However, if they make the playoffs, I still believe they're fraudulent. Their defense
Oh,
is going to get run over by someone. But the way they're playing right now, I mean, I think that they could leapfrog some of these teams. I mean, they have an easy schedule outside of like one game. So, I mean, wouldn't shock me if they were able to make it to the playoffs. I mean, they're above 500 right now. So, I mean, really at that point, this point in the season with how mixed up everything is, I mean, that's where you want to be. But Eagles look fraudulent to me right now, but I'm still scared of them in the playoffs, regardless of how they look right now. Cowboys, they look like fuel. They're running on some real good stuff right now, but I don't trust them in the playoffs. So we'll see how it goes.
I'll say this about the Eagles. They really have to, I'm not gonna say they have to win the division, but it's not like the seventh seed in the NFC is going to be like a 9-8 team. Like the NFC is incredibly deep. If they don't win the division, they might be in the same position as Kansas City and potentially just be on the outside looking in. But
Yeah.
that's going to be
I mean, they have a 4 game buffer right now, so they would have to lose a lot over the last 4 to 5 games of the season. I don't think that they'll like go 0 and 4 or 0 and 5 or anything like that. But I mean,
uh,
if you're an Eagles fan, your record is kind of telling lies right now because the way you've played recently, I mean, it just hasn't looked good.
it has not. And you can say the same thing about the other big dog in last year's NFC, the Detroit Lions. With them, the Packers and the Bears right now all competing within the NFC North for both the division title and the potential wildcard spot. The Lions, I like the I think you're starting to see the effects of losing your O coordinator and D coordinator from the year before because that's the best I've seen Jordan Love play this year. When those Thanksgiving games started with the Packers just I'm not gonna say running up and down the field because it was a close game, but the Lions defense was helpless against the Packers. The Packers could do whatever they want on offense. Jordan Love had his best game of the season, and the Lions end this season. They're hosting the Cowboys. Then they travel to the Rams. Then they host the Steelers and travel to the Vikings and Bears.
That's tough. Outside of
That
the Vikings. Poor Vikings.
that's tough, and they're on the outside looking in. They're the eighth seed in the wild card right now, and they are a game and a half back from the San Francisco. And Green Bay won both their games against Detroit this year, so they would need Green Bay to fall off, and I just don't see that happening. This might be a situation where the Lions just because of how powerful the schedule is at the end of the season, they're going to be on the outside looking in. And if that's the case, you go have to have some. I get losing your two Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. That makes sense. And I get that I like Jared Goff, but he's not like the superstar. You've seen moments when golf looks terrible. Well, golf looks bad. You've seen moments where he looks really good. And Dan Campbell is still the best coach the Lions have had probably since they won the championship back
Ever.
since they won the championships back in the late 50s. So,
Yikes.
but this what I would have to say this would be like a very disappointing season since from last year comparatively speaking, especially, but also because you figured they kind of they right the ship for a bit and then losing to the Packers, losing a weird game against the Eagles, and losing against the Vikings in the past 5 weeks. It's just, and you honestly should have lost to the Giants. The Giants game was basically just the Giants can't close a game to save their life. This hasn't been a good season for Lions fans, which isn't shocking, but yeah, you should be used to this. But
Aw.
I'll say this isn't a good season for Dan Campbell supporters, and I say that as a hardcore Dan Campbell supporter.
Okay, this might be a hot take. I think both Green Bay and Detroit are fraudulent.
Oh wow! And their
Yeah.
in their defense, Green Bay, the past they've won three straight games. They've beaten. Granted, two of those three
Now,
games.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was like, granted, two of those three games have been against the Vikings and Giants, and they end the season. They have to play the Bears twice. They have to go to Denver. They have to host the Ravens and then play the Vikings. So they potentially could be playing
Yeah,
the
that's
next
tough, dude.
outside the Vikings game. The next 4 weeks could be against very elite teams. I will always say this about
Yeah.
the Packers. They have an elite defense. I just have
That was
all
the aside that I was gonna say.
I
I
just always
think the offense is fraudulent. The defense is for real. The
yeah.
defense is really good.
Oh yeah. Um I guess because their defense is so good, I will give them fuel because if you tell me that you give me halfway decent Jordan Love, it doesn't even be Jordan Love on Thursday night, but halfway decent Jordan Love, that team can go far in the playoffs. But kind of like the same thing with Jared Goff. I've seen terrible Jordan Love games and I've seen awesome Jordan Love games. And I just don't know which one I'm getting.
Yeah. So I mean, with Detroit, I really like Detroit. I mean, Detroit has a lot of pieces, but Detroit has lost Laporta basically for the season.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra is hurt right now for who knows how long. He has an ankle injury. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is basically running that offense right now. I mean, literally running the offense. He had like
Running.
250 total yards in their last game. Um, I don't know. If they don't have Amon-Ra, I mean, Jamison Williams is good, but some games he shows up and some games he's irrelevant and doesn't even catch a pass. So, I mean,
He has CD hands sometimes. He can drop his
yeah,
fair share of balls.
yeah. So, I mean, if they get Amon-Ra back sooner than anticipated, I think they have more of a shot. But I mean, you're seeing some of the offensive deficiencies. I mean, no disrespect to Dan Campbell. He's one of my favorite coaches in football. But, there has to be some degree of discernment when you go for fourth down. I mean, I understand statistically, if you go for fourth down every time, you're going to get it more than you're not. I mean, that's just mathematics. So it makes sense. But I feel like he needs to consider game situations. You know what I mean? Like
That he,
when
he
Ben Johnson went for it on fourth down, he went for it on fourth downs that made sense most of the time. I mean, Dan Campbell is going for it on 4th and 7 on their own 35-yard line. I'm like, my guy, just punt the ball.
like Dan
It's
Campbell.
just punt the ball, dude. I mean, I appreciate the tenacity, but just punt the ball. This is not Madden.
Like Campbell, he'll be at playing 21 in Vegas, get two kings and say, hit me again. Just I still
Yeah.
I went crazy in terms of when he was like it was early in the fourth quarter. They're down by six. They're like at the 20, they're at the Green Bay 20. He said, go for it. And they didn't get it. I'm like, why don't you just kick the field goal and just make it like instead of you have to score a touchdown, you just make it a field goal. If he's
Like I
I
said, I appreciate the tenacity. I
I
mean, most NFL coaches wouldn't even consider that. I mean, a lot of them don't even go for it on fourth down, especially more of the old school guys, because that's just not their nature. Um, but I mean, you still, there's a line. I mean, yes, mathematically it'll work a lot of the time, but you also have to consider the game situation. And I mean, in regards to Green Bay, their defense is phenomenal. I mean, adding Micah Parsons really just took that defense up a notch. I don't trust the offense.
That's fair.
So if Detroit makes the playoffs and Amon-Ra gets healthy, they can score with anyone, but I'm going to call them fraudulent right now in this moment. And I'm going to say the same thing for Green Bay. I know they have a good record. I don't trust Jordan Love, at least not this year. I mean, he's either really good like he was on Thursday and throws 4 touchdowns, or he's really bad and has 2 points in fantasy. Like, you're not going to get very far if you don't have a consistent guy on your team. Plus, they also lost their tight end, Tucker Kraft, who is the engine of their offense.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs has been hurt. They haven't even had Jaden Reed for most of the year, though he's supposed to come back this weekend. So that could help their offense. I mean, Dante had the game of his life on Thanksgiving, but it's like I just don't trust the offense. So I'm also going to call them fraudulent, which leaves the last team in the NFC North, which would be the Bears. And
Our
honestly, there's
Bears.
a part of me, yes, thank you. There's honestly a part of me that still wants to call them fraudulent, which is crazy, but kind of the same thing with Jordan Love this year we've seen with Caleb Williams. When Caleb Williams is on, he looks phenomenal. Like he was worth the first overall pick. When he's off, he throws like 2 interceptions and has like a 45% completion ratio. So it's like, yeah, which version of Caleb Williams are we going to get? But I mean, I feel like at this point, he's proven more than he has not that even if he has a bad game, the team is coached well enough to still get wins. And I think that's a testament to a good team. If they don't play well, that they can still win. And a lot of that is Ben Johnson and his staff. I loved the Ben Johnson hire for Chicago. I think it's a home run. And I think Bears fans probably couldn't be much happier than they are right now. I mean, he's pretty much reinvigorated the entire city in regards to football, at least. So it's really cool to see them kind of rise out of the ashes. I'm going to give them fuel right now. They're getting healthier. They just got their top cornerback last week, I believe. Um, they have two really good running backs in Kyle Monagai and DeAndre Swift. Honestly, to some degree, it kind of looks like Monagai might be stealing his job. They had almost equal snap share on Friday, which was interesting, and they both had about the same stats, which was also interesting. Um, they have pieces on defense, they have pieces on offense. If you're gonna fix one thing for the Bears, why is Rome Odunze getting like 10 yards a game? Like, I don't understand. You gotta, I mean, yeah, that dude is supposed to be your wide receiver one. I mean, you gotta, reintegrate that dude into the offense because he's a dog. They need to use him. The same thing with Colston Loveland. I mean, they took him as high as they did. Use him. Like, I think he's probably better than Cole Kmet at this point. But I mean, the Bears have had some impressive wins, even if it hasn't been over great teams. I mean, good coaching, you know, good performance when it matters. So I'm going to say that they're for real right now, and I'm going to give them some fuel, but it's kind of still tentative. I know they're the best team in the NFC. We haven't seen that consistency out of Caleb Williams you really want to see from a bona fide, really strong quarterback on a really high seeded playoff team. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, their schedule is not particularly easy. So we'll see how they finish up. But I'm going to say that they're the only team that I think is for real in the NFC North right now, which is kind of crazy.
No, that's good analysis. It's a good take. I think out of three teams in the NFC North, there are two frauds. I think Detroit's one, and I think Chicago's the second. I think Green Bay's for you. My biggest thing with Chicago is the point differential is I'm scared with the point differential. Detroit's point differential, despite the fact being in third place and losing the last game, they're still plus 76. Green Bay is plus 68. Chicago's the number one team in the NFC right now. Their point differential is plus 6. They don't have they're winning a lot of close games. And granted, these it's good. No, they're winning games. You can only play who's in front of you, but the
I
other
will say, I do think the Rams are still better, even though they're not the one seed in the NFC right now.
yeah.
I would still take the Rams over the Bears, even
No,
if they had a worse record.
That's fair. That's fair. But I'm just looking in terms at the Bears' schedule the past few weeks. The Bengals game was just the Bengals can't play defense worth its salt. At least they didn't a month ago. The Giants game was another Giants had the game and then blew it at the end. The Vikings game was a 1970s like ridiculous. Just I don't know. Like that was just like a bad game in terms of honestly both teams. The Steelers game was a 31-28 squeaker that they won. That was against Mason Rudolph too, and Mason Rudolph statistically had a decent game, but in terms of quarterback play, wasn't his highest moment. And I'll give you this: the Eagles win to me is a good win. Is even though the Eagles are struggling, you still travel to Philadelphia on a short week and
Still
beat
a
this
tough place to play.
and beat the Super Bowl champion in not the best weather. I just don't. I guess my whole thing is like I'm always scared of when your team has low point differential because that's mean you're winning a lot of tight, close games, and the Bears are winning tight, close games against not good teams. Like there's no team outside the Eagles since their last loss. Though none of these teams are playoff teams at the moment. The Bengals, Giants, Vikings, or Steelers, and I give credit to this.
That's true.
I think Ben Johnson's a really good coach. I think he's proven the fact that he can make apple pie out of like rotten oranges.
Yeah, he's really good.
I think Caleb right now is playing the best football. Caleb wasn't nowhere close to being this good last year. I think that's a testament to the coach. I think they're getting the offense is looking good. The defense is looking I would say not good but passable. If you allow 21 points to Mason Rudolph, you're not a good defense.
That's fair.
Um I just don't see them going against an elite team in January. Like if they go against to me, if they go against say the number one team, because they're gonna be the number one seed, so they go against the winner of the 4 or 5 matchup. That would be at this moment the 4 or 5 matchup in the NFC would either be the winner in the South or Seattle. Seattle's the
They could beat Tampa Bay or the Panthers.
that no, that's fair, but I don't think Tampa Bay or the
Now
Panthers can beat
Seattle.
Seattle. I don't think they.
Seattle though, yeah.
I think
Seattle's a good team. At least when Sam Darnold, plays
when
good,
when he's not
at least
seeing
on
ghosts.
offense. Yeah.
So after all these weeks, and as much as like I'm just getting a lot of Vikings, and I believe it was 2022 when Daniel Jones got his one playoff win. I'm getting a lot of we're winning a lot of close games. We're going to end the season as the top seed or number 2 seed in conference, but there's a lot of smoke and mirrors right now. I want to see more from Chicago in this last month. The fact that they have to play Green Bay twice, San Francisco, Detroit, and
It'll prove who they are for sure.
a Browns team that's not good offensively, but defensively can still rock you
Yeah.
like a hurricane with Myles Garrett about to break the sack record.
Yeah.
Um,
Tough schedule.
it's gonna be interesting. I don't think they will be able to hold on to the division. I think Green Bay takes the division, but I could be wrong. They can show me something that I haven't seen this year. And that moves on to the NFC South and the the least of the best. We
Okay,
have
okay, okay. Let me have this one. Let me have this one. Let me
okay,
start
okay,
this one.
okay, go ahead. No, Chelsea, go cook. Go cook.
Okay. So, you know how you always talk about how if there's a really good matchup, you always pick the team with the better quarterback to win
Yeah.
the game?
Yeah.
This is not going in the direction you think it is. I'm talking about Bryce Young compared to Baker Mayfield.
Oh
I
my
knew what you were
goodness.
thinking.
You are not
I
going to
was
tell me
not going
Bryce
to say
Young's
Bryce
better.
Young's better than Matthew Stafford. No, I'm not that crazy. However, when it comes to winning the division, I'm going to take, even though both of the teams have about the same record, have had some mid games, some good games, some great games, some bad games, I'm still going to take the Bucks to win the division just because I like Baker better. I know that they're very injured right now, but they did just get Chris Godwin back, which is a boost, and they got Bucky Irving back,
Yeah.
so they are getting a little bit healthier. I don't know if I would say that I would fuel them up though. Unless they get healthy and they finish out the year strong, they kind of also feel fraudulent to me. And honestly, a lot of it is not their fault. They've just had a lot of injuries. and Baker is still dealing with that shoulder thing, I believe. Now, getting Bucky Irving back was a huge boost. I mean,
It was massive.
you saw Bucky Irving reduce Sean Taylor and Rashad White's carries in the game down to
Uh,
like 2 and 1, I think.
that hurt my
So I
that
mean,
hurt my sleeper league. I had
yeah,
Sean
yeah.
White.
So we definitely know, who the bell cow in Tampa Bay is. Um, they still feel fraudulent to me right now, so I'm going to still call them fraudulent. However, if they continue to get healthy, playoff Baker Mayfield is not a guy I want to see in the playoffs. That dude is just a dog. I mean, he could, like have his arm broken and he'd still be in the game playing. As for Carolina, I just got to shout out Carolina, okay? I watched the game with my husband. Game comes on, I look at him, I say, "Babe, I don't think the Panthers stand a chance in this game." And lo and behold, the good Panthers show up and take down the Rams, which was just arguably the most shocking win of the entire NFL season,
I
in my
have
opinion. I mean, that was insane. But it's kind of the same as Caleb Williams. Like, are you going to get good Bryce or bad Bryce? Bryce Young plays a terrible team and throws like 2 interceptions and has 9 completions. And then he plays the Rams, who are probably the best defense in football, and he has a perfect passer rating on third and fourth down. Like, dude, pick a lane, bro.
I
If they
have
get Bryce Young from this game, I think that they could make some noise in the playoffs. I think they could win a game, depending on the matchup, if they get good Bryce. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. Still think they're going to make it as, a wild card team. They might be able to take the division, but I'm still going to have them as a wild card. I don't know. I kind of like them right now. And I am a Colts fan, so this is, do I like the Panthers? Yes. Do I live in the state? Yes. Am I a little biased? Perhaps. But really like Tet McMillan. Dude's a dog. Rico
yeah.
Dowdle and Chuba are both really good. Ike Kwanu has turned his career around. He looked terrible his first couple of years in the league, and now he's arguably a top left tackle in football, at least when it comes to running. I mean, dude looks amazing. I mean, I like Jalen Coker. The rest of their core is kind of eh. And the defense, they had like 4 starters out on Sunday against the Rams. They had no J.C. Horn, no one. Derek Brown directly caused 2 of the 3 turnovers. That dude is a dog. Arguably the second best DT in football, in my opinion. So I'm going to say Panthers are for real, but it still wouldn't shock me if Bryce Young has a Bryce Young moment and goes 9 of 30 for 12 yards and an interception because this just happens apparently. But hey, I mean, I feel like I can't go against him after that win.
No, that's fair. That's good analysis. That's fair. Um, yeah, the Buccaneers are -22 in points differential. The Panthers are -50. Both these teams are flawed in my opinion. Anyway, now
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
I'll
that
say this
they'll
though.
really do much in the playoffs, but
I'm happy they go and play each other twice at the end of the year.
that will
So
be exciting.
that's gonna be
That will be
exciting
good
if this goes.
football right there.
So yeah, this is. I'm happy that both these teams are playing well, but I just feel like if they go against the number 2 team in the NFC West, which we're going to move on to,
The
they
toughest division in
what
football, I would
which is
argue.
funny because the earlier this year Seattle lost to Tampa, but that was a much different team, and like even though the Panthers just beat Stafford's Rams. Stafford had like I think Stafford for like 5 minutes lost his mind, which goes back again going to the NFC West. We got Seattle and the Rams have the same record at the moment, but the Rams on top, and then San Francisco is half a game back. All these teams, I feel bad because all these teams really deserve better. San Francisco has 7 bye week to go. Then they play the Titans, Colts, Bears, and Seattle. The Seahawks, they have to play, let me just scroll down here. They have to play the Falcons, Colts, Rams, Panthers, and 49ers. I'm sorry for your Colts. It seems like they got a gauntlet going.
Dude, it's tough.
And
We'll talk
then
about it on Thursday.
the Rams has they have Arizona, Detroit, Seattle, Falcons, and Cardinals. So the
Let's
Rams,
just get this out of the way. The Rams fuel me up, baby. Even though
yeah,
they lost to the Panthers, they're for real. I still think they're the best team in football.
Yeah, I again, I don't know. I think Stafford just lost his mind and went back to Detroit rookie Stafford for
He's
like
like,
5
ah.
minutes, and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm Matt Stafford," and just start
He
chugging
said,
it.
"Oh yeah, I never mind."
Oh yeah, that's Devontae Adams, and that's Puka Nacua making crazy one-handed catches.
I know, crazy dude. The Rams are still for real. I mean, that was a bad loss to a team that was definitely worse than them. However, every good team is going to have losses like that because that's just the nature of the league.
Yeah.
Rams are still the best team in football, in my opinion. Them losing to the Panthers doesn't dissuade that for me.
Now the question then comes down to is between Seattle and San Francisco.
Man. Okay, okay, here's the thing. I love Seattle. JSN, been amazing. The
Yeah,
defense, top three in football. The question is Sam Darnold. Are you going to get Sam Darnold, who's looked great in the regular season, or are you going to get Sam Darnold, who
and,
looked like he looked in the playoffs last year?
and
I
that's
mean,
why,
that's the
yeah,
question.
and that's why I think they're frauds because
Me too.
I
As
just
terrible as that sounds, me too.
it's just Sam Darnold's. I've seen it too many times. I've seen too many games of him against elite big time teams and big time moments just look like New York Jets early Panthers Sam Darnold, which like, dude, what happened to you? Like, and I feel bad because I think the rest of the team is great. JSN's having arguably
Yeah,
the
no,
greatest receiving
rest of
season.
the team is
Isn't
amazing.
and it just comes down to one player. And like, I don't want to just pin it on one player, but it goes back to my whole rule is if you have two equal teams, I'm picking a team with the better quarterback. And
Right.
in the big game, I'm going to pick I'm easily going to pick Stafford in front of Sam Darnold, and I'm still going to pick Brock Purdy with Purdy and Shanahan calling plays in front of Darnold, which then
Me too.
goes down to San Francisco, the
This
team
is
that
probably the toughest one in the whole
the
NFC.
team that won't die.
Right, I know. Okay, here's the thing. They got healthy, right? They got Kittle back, they got Purdy back. Still no Brandon Ayuk. He's like out in the ether somewhere. I don't even know what's
He's
happened to
not
that
even saying
guy.
he's not even coming back this yet, don't
Yeah.
think.
That I mean, you want to talk about a testament of great coaching. It is this team. They lost their best defensive player. They lost pretty much every major part of their offense except Christian McCaffrey at some point this year, and here they are. I just I don't think the defense holds up in the playoffs. I mean,
Mm.
you don't have Fred Warner. You're playing a lot of, there's still good players on that defense, but I don't know. I mean, the offense is good with Purdy and McCaffrey and Kittle, Jennings, and everyone else, but I just don't trust the defense in the playoffs as well as they are coached. I think that they will finish the regular season strong. I just I just don't trust the defense in the playoffs. So
No,
I'm going to go fraudulent in regards to the playoffs. Like, I think they're still having a great regular season, and it's a testament to Shanahan and his staff. But I don't foresee them making noise in the playoffs with a defense that just has lost so many people that they're
that's
not getting back. Like, it's not like the offense. Fred
yeah.
Warner isn't coming back in 3 weeks like Purdy did.
Yeah, no, that's true, and I give credit to the fact that we're going. This is you're right. This is the hardest one because I want to say fuel. My heart's telling me fuel, my head's telling me frauds because this
Do
team
you do you see this defense being able to stop the Rams? Do
they
you
play.
see this defense being able to stop, say, Detroit makes it and they get Amon Ra back? I mean, do you see this defense being able to stop Philly with Saquon and AJ Brown both going off at the same time? I just don't see it.
The only way I can see is possibly if they just control the run with McCaffrey, but even then,
That's true.
this might just be a season because we're going to know more about them after. Well, they're playing the Titans in 2 weeks. They have a bye this week, then play the Titans.
So
So
we're not going to know anything until after that.
yeah, then they end the season with at the Colts and then hosting the Bears in Seattle. So that's going to
Still
be
tough.
that's a you end the season with those teams. I will say I will go with my heart and say Fuel, but it's a very hesitant Fuel, partly because I picked them to start the season and the fact they made this was
So you're
insane.
biased. No, just kidding.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So that for me, I'm going to take, man, I'm probably going to take Detroit and San Francisco out and put Dallas and Carolina in. I think the rest stay for the top eight. So Chicago, Rams, Philly, Tampa, Seattle, Green Bay, San Francisco. Carolina and Dallas. We'll see how it pans out.
We will see. I think the only thing I'll change is honestly the Eagles and Cowboys, but we will
Yeah.
see. And until then, Chelsea Hills, where you can find us.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Tune back in on our social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football, on Twitter at Launch Codes FB, and join our chat BCC chat. DM us on our socials for the link if you're interested in joining. I'm Chelsea,
I'm Daniel.
and we will see you on Thursday.
Have a good week.